Hey, thank you for coming by, Tory Magoo 44 in Spokane, Washington. Um, how you guys doing? I'm doing well, considering I'm healing, and that's a good thing. So today, I'm basically going to take a little time to tell you, because people have asked me about getting money back from the Church of Scientology. And I want to make it perfectly clear how sneaky they are. I had some money on account. This was in I don't know, 2000 and maybe 5 or something like that. I still had money on account at the American Saint Hill, which I had put in the early days to do the briefing course, which is class 6. Okay. So I wrote them and and asked for my money back, and they just ignored me. So finally I hired prepaid legal. And prepaid legal wrote a letter to them. And back then, it obviously rang a bell. I think now they have people that work at prepaid legal because I've heard nobody else has had any success with them. But I did. And they immediately called me and said, okay, we've got your check, but you've just got to sign this waiver. I said, all right, send it over. So they faxed it over to me. It was this huge, long waiver of how I could never say anything against David Miscavige, Church of Scientology, any of the volunteers, blah, blah, blah. It was like really taking away all of my personal freedoms. And I said, this is ridiculous. So I called up my attorney, and she said, Tori, if you want to get money back, it's very common practice that you have to sign a waiver. And I said, you know what? I don't think you've ever seen a waiver like this. I'm going to fax it over to you. So I faxed it over to her, and I swear to God, in under 3 minutes, she called me back and she said, oh my God, you can call them and tell them, number one, you are not signing it per your attorney. Number two, the waiver is actually an illegal waiver. There you go. So now let's roll forward. I send them, we write up what we agree to, which is basically I'm just not going to sue American Saint Hill. That's it. And I put in it, it doesn't have to do with the Church of Scientology, Church of Scientology International, flag. I list out all these other things that it doesn't have to do with. It's just ASHO, right? And I send it to them. And so they say, okay, let's meet at the Talleyrand. We're going to bring you your check. So I say, okay. So I bring my friend as a witness, Patrick, and we go there, and there's an attorney with this girl, Pam, who worked for the Office of Special Affairs, and I had volunteered with her and stuff like that. So she sits down next to me, and she brings out a waiver. And it's the same long waiver taking away all of my freedoms and my rights. And I say, Pam, this is the exact waiver my attorney told you is illegal. And she looks at me and she goes, we thought you'd say that. And then she pulls out the waiver that I had agreed to sign. I sign it. Now I so don't trust them just because of what they did right there. I drive down to their bank. Now dig what happens here. It's downtown. It's a huge bank. I walk in. I hand him my check. The guy says, he puts on white gloves. He looks over at this guy in the corner, which is a guy from OSA, and he says to me, you have to sign it. So I sign it. He takes it with his white gloves and puts the check in an envelope and then gives me my $5,000. So weird. I think they were trying to scare me like Paulette Cooper, like now we've got your fingerprints. And I was like, I walked by the OSA guys just like, you know what? Fuck you. They are so pathetic. They don't get that this was my money. This wasn't like asking for money that I'd spent. This was my money, my cash that I had on account that I'd put there to do a service in the future. They'd had it for years. The only way I really got it was I finally told Pam, I said, look, I'm going to tell you something. Either I get my check within the next 24 hours, or I'm going to tack on interest for all the years that you've had my $5,000. And that's when they went, you know what? You got your money. So it's a very tricky thing. They're very sneaky. They'll try to do anything to stop your freedoms. Do not ever, ever give those away. Don't. I know some people who have, and I don't know any of them who are happy with it. It's just not right. It's not a good thing. It shouldn't happen. And for anyone trying to get your money back, I know that they now have this thing where you have to go through their arbitration. I say somebody or all of us somehow do some kind of a thing where we, what do you call it? Where you go to not an arbitration. It's where you protest something, where you go in and I forgot the word, but you basically say, no, this isn't right. We're going against it. We want to change the ruling, right? And moment, I forgot it. Anyway, you guys know what it is. But anyway, I think we need to do that and get that removed because it's so wrong. It's like telling a black person that they have to go through the KKK before they can get their money back. It's like, no, not a fair deal at all. And it's not a fair deal with Scientology and their arbitration crap at all. If I need to talk about it, I will. If you guys have anything you'd like me to talk about, please just post it on this video. Mention it. I'd be happy to speak on many different subjects. So let me know. And there you go. I love you guys. If you have money on account, I say keep asking for it. Appeal. That's it. That's the word. You can appeal that decision that happened in the Luis Garcia case where Scientology said they have to go through their Scientology arbitration to get their money. I say let's get it to an appellate court and take it all the way up as high as we have to take it because it's not right and it should be removed. And people who have their money on account, which is like a savings account for people who don't understand on account, that just means it's like their own personal savings account within Scientology. And they do not own your money and they should not be allowed ever to keep it. Ever. All right, so there you go. Peace out and happy February. There you go. I love you guys. Bye bye.